So do you guys understand Harden's perspective on there being no loyalty in the league?
I mean, I understand where he's coming from. And these players are benefiting from the past players' mistakes, where players stayed in situations longer than they were supposed to. Legacies was ruined sitting in certain cities where, you know, when you was good enough to affect winning, there was no other pieces with you. You know, like Patrick Ewing, where, you know, you just needed that one piece and you just couldn't get over the hump. You know, Allen Iverson, where, you know, you never added someone with him to go get that championship, right? It's like, well, he sells every seat in this building. We don't need to add any better pieces with him, right? So, you know, because the legacies are built on championships, and that's what you're telling the last 30 years of players, these guys are now sitting here and they're saying, well, they look like they're about to win. They look like they got the piece. That organization look like they're trying to get pieces over there. We still are stuck here. I'm a free agent. I'm going to explore. Versus just taking the money here, I'll just rather leave. Because the game is, the rules are designed so you just don't up and leave. You take a big financial hit for leaving. So when he says, I've sacrificed so much, he's right. Right? You sacrifice a lot of money leaving the city that you're in. So, you know, we don't know what deals he turned down, but I've heard that, you know, it's been at least $150 million that he's left on the table trying to win championship. You know, trying to, you know, keep the team getting better. So, this is a business, right? We're sold on winning. We're sold on, you know, you're not shit unless you're a champion. So, you know, if I'm worth $100 million and you're telling me, hey, take 50 and we can get these other players for you so you'll win, the player does that. But in reality, the organization, if I'm worth 100, why aren't you spending more money to go win? Do you not want to win a championship? Why are you banking on me wanting to win a championship? So you want me to take a pay cut for this guy, but you're not taking a pay cut to get that guy. You want all your profit, and then you want me to sacrifice, right? So the millionaire is sacrificing for the billionaires. But because the public don't have a face to go with it, they side with the team and not the player, not realizing that the owners don't want to take a pay cut. They want the players to take one so they still get all their profit. And that's why certain teams don't pay their players, don't care to pay players, because they can keep bare minimum team, the fans are going to come support, and then their business is going to grow. They're going to have this team for 20, 40 years, however long. They're going to make their profit. So I don't need to I don't need to win a championship to be a billionaire. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's the business. So these players are smart enough to say, well, I want to be a billionaire too. So I need to go and chase these checks too.
Brandon, you agree with Harden's assessment on there being no loyalty
Yep.
in this league?
I agree. I look at it from both sides, what Gil said. You know, James wanted to sacrifice for winning. He lost a lot of money off of it. Then when it was time for him to re-up, you know, you saw what they did to him. So, but I like what James said, man. And I hope a lot of players, I hope a lot of young players coming up will listen to James, because he's been in this situation. And it's true. So, you know, like Gil said, man, there's so much money that's being thrown out here now that NBA players could become billionaires. Like, we're going to see Wemby's probably going to be a billionaire. You know, Luka, you know, SBA, they'll probably be billionaires before they're done playing. And, you know, that's just the thing. Go get yours. The biggest thing is go and get yours, because the organization is going to be there and the owners, he ain't losing no money. He's still going to be a billionaire and have all his at the end of the day. So just do what's best for you.
Swaggy, you agree with Harden's stance and opinion on
Yeah,
loyalty
just,
being overrated?
I mean, just to hear Harden speak about it and talk like that was big. Look at him in a different light. Because Harden get a lot of bad press, a lot of bad criticism, and it's just good to finally hear him speak out on the situation. And it's true. It is true. Players got to do the ultimate sacrifice, and everything lies on the player. You don't hear nobody talking about the owners or nothing on ESPN, on these shows, on podcasts. It's always the player. So, yeah, just keep bringing light to it, for sure.
And then Shad, obviously we just played the clip of Harden giving his opinion on loyalty, saying he sacrificed a lot. Think about the situation with the Sixers when there's supposed to be a deal under the table with Daryl Morey to get him his bread, proceeded to get traded to the Clippers. Now the Clippers situation, they were 6-21 to start this season. Had a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes over there. He's now in Cleveland with the Cavs with an opportunity to keep his playoff streak alive. What's your reaction to Harden's comments just on there being no loyalty in the NBA?
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to stick to staying 10 toes on the original conversation we had earlier. The loyalty happens with certain players. I believe Houston had loyalty with James for 10 years, and ultimately he decided to leave based on Daryl Morey exiting and also Mike D'Antoni being fired. They brought in a new coach. They got rid of the GM that was essentially his center stone piece to keep him with the Houston Rockets and allow him to go to the team he wanted to go to. So James went to Brooklyn, to the team he wanted to go to. He didn't go to Sacramento. He didn't get traded to the Bucks or anybody that he didn't want to go to. He went with the team he wanted to go to. Then you look at when he was with OKC, the $5 million that he couldn't get to push him to the Houston Rockets. I think that them not being able to get him the money he wanted ultimately fucked the franchise over with their aspirations of getting a championship early on. You look at Brooklyn and him wanting out and going to where he wanted to go from Brooklyn. I think that all of these organizations have done right by James based on where he wanted to go. And his value and his assessment on being the player he is allows him to have that leverage. I think even with Philly, Daryl not being able to hold up his end of the bargain allows James to go where he wants to go. Him going to the Clippers, you get to go play with Kawhi. He hasn't made a decision yet to go play by himself where he don't have help. He's always went somewhere where he know he can get some help, even this last situation with Cleveland. So if you think about the Clippers giving him that out, going to where he wants to go, I would say the loyalty is there for him. I think just him being smart enough to know where he wants to go and the organization agreeing, like, we're going to make something happen where it makes sense for us too. I don't think it's the other way around. I think, even if you're chasing the money, you always going to look a certain way based on the decisions you make. So if he's looked at right now as a nigga that's chasing money and you going for how much money you can make, that's what it's going to look like, especially if you're not winning no rings around it. And I think if he stay in Houston for another 7-8 years and he's still there right now, would they have won a championship by now? Who knows? That's a variable we never gonna see. But would that look like loyalty if he was still there? I think so.
I think he's saying that he leaves before he gets screwed. Because he said because there's no loyalty, right? Y'all remember Westbrook, right? Where he turned on Kevin Durant for the organization and said, "Oh, he won out. I'm here. This is me." They traded that man, right? We watched DeMar. This is my city. They traded that man. So he's looking at situations and saying, "Well, they don't really have no loyalty. So shit, I need to do what's best for me." So if I feel like, "Hey, man, this shit look about," I'm not going down with the ship. Because I know the owner, he got a submarine, so he gonna live. he gonna live. The rest of us, our careers is gonna die. So he's basically saying, I get the fuck out of there before you even have a chance to screw me. When my number is high, that's when I bounce. Right? Houston. Moore was his guy. I believe in him. I'm going with him. So he followed him. Right?
Hey, but remember, we trying to win championships too, right? So who you need to win a championship? All right, bring me CP. All right, here you go. Who else you need? All right, bring me Dwight Howard. All right, here you go. All right, who else you need? All right, here you go. Here go Russell Westbrook. Here you go. All right, man, look, we still not getting there. So remember what we said before. If you give me this, I'm gonna give you this.
My guy
So
left.
if you're not delivering on getting me where I need to go, and I'm giving you the money that you asking for, there's no trade-off.
But my guy left.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So now you feel like your incentive now is, this was my guy. But this guy brought you in, paid you based on the organization telling him to do that. Like, someone's giving Daryl the heads up that this is cool. So if you can find another middleman for you that can still go to the dude that's paying you, it shouldn't change your stance on the organization. But if you like Daryl that much, all right, go with Daryl, right? But guess what happened with you and Daryl? You obviously didn't like Daryl that much because you niggas split up when you got to this other side of the fence.
Yeah.
So now, is it a you thing, or is it a Daryl thing, or is it an organizational thing?
No,
Or is
it's
the thing
low.
when you don't get your way, you ready to just bounce?
Yeah, it's
That's
low.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Are you
saying.
trying
I'm
to
like,
win?
what is it?
No, it's this. If
You
I
don't
tell
see
you,
going
if
to
you
these places
come
trying
to
to
me,
win?
what happened with Daryl? You come to me and say, hey, we need you to take a pay cut so we can make this move, right?
Yeah.
And we'll get you on the back end. So when
What's this move for, though, Gil? This move is for what?
to get a better player.
To try to win a championship.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
All right, go ahead.
So he takes a pay cut, right? For this. You spend the money how you spend it. His contract is up and he's ready to extend off the promise you made to him. And then you, as Daryl, couldn't deliver. It wasn't Daryl, it wasn't him.
It was up top.
It was up top. Up top was like, nah. And
We didn't get this. We didn't get what we was supposed to get on this side. Where's our check? Where's our finals? Where's the playoff run? We looking for our shit too.
Okay.
So we don't get what we get. You don't get what we not gonna give you what you
No.
want.
That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I'm looking at it.
No. You told me to give you $100 and you was gonna do this with it. I gave you $100.
Okay.
I did my part. What the fuck you do with it is on you.
Yeah.
Where's my 200 back? Like you
We
said.
went to get Paul George with that 100.
Cole. You didn't flip it right. That's your problem. I gave you 100. You said you was gonna flip it to 2. Where's my 2?
But I did say I was gonna flip it to 2, but you did say you was gonna give me more than you gave me. You gave me 20 and 10. You coming off?
You the 1.
You gave me 20 and 10.
I gave you the 100. You said you was gonna flip it to 2.
Right.
If you didn't flip it to 2, that's your fucking problem. Where my 2 at? I still want my 2.
Yes,
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah,
I get. Listen, I get that.
Yeah.
But what?
That's-
What about what you promised me though?
I promised you my money. I gave it to you.
No.
You told me
You
to
took
take a
less.
pay
You
No.
took less so
No,
you
no,
can
no,
get
no.
something on the back, so you can get more, right? You took less so you can get more,
You
right?
asked me because what I'm valued at this point, if I'm valued at 50 million, and that's what I'm demanding, and you're like, hey, hold on. I know we're supposed to give you 50. If you can take 35 right now, we'll give you 65 tomorrow. And you're like, all right, man, we're gonna do that too.
All right. Now look, get it. I get that.
You
Now
man, man.
But what's in it for us? We doing this deal for you. This
No,
is
nigga,
for you to get your bread.
You're coming to me and telling me not to
Yeah,
take
to
50.
take a pay
You're
cut,
telling me
yeah.
to take 35 for you to go get
Yeah.
more players.
Yeah.
Right, so we can win.
So
we can win.
So I take the 35 for you.
And we don't win.
I still took the 35 for you.
But you didn't help us win. The agreement is we
See,
win.
it's
You got the wrong player with the 15 extra. That ain't my problem. Where's my?
No, we got the right player. We got the right player. You gave us less production.
No,
Again,
that's why
you gotta remember this. You're my guy. That means you're coming to me personally. Outside
We
of
talked about this already, though, Gil. We talked about this the same thing when it happened. I'm like, Daryl Morey's like, look, we was looking for 25, 27 and 10, 27 and 8, James Harden. You gave us 20 and 10. The shit you asked him for don't add up for what you gave me.
Bro, you asked me
I
as
get
a
both sides.
friend. As a friend, you came to me outside of business and said,
No, I get it. I get it.
We as buddies.
That's why they fucked up. But remember what we said. This came from up top. Remember, this not come. Daryl was like, look, bro, this ain't got shit to do with me. They saying you didn't give us what you said you was gonna give us.
No, I did. I gave you the 35. That's what everybody's missing. I gave you the 35 million. What you told me to help your books.
Right.
Then you flying me.
So James and him are friends?
Did his part. The other group is the one that flying ball, and that became the problem. But
that's why I'm saying for the upper people going back to Daryl and saying, Daryl, we're not giving him what he asked for because he didn't give us what we asked for.
Yeah.
But
That's what I said. I've never been in that situation, but I know those conversations because I was in that conversation before, where I had a conversation with the owner. He told me this is what he wants from me. I did it. There was a time and point where he could have stood on corporate business and say, "Hey, you got 127. Doctors say your knee ain't worth this no more. We offer you
like
86. You can take this. That's the best we gonna do." And go back on his words, right? He could have did that. But Mr. Poland said, "Hey, they told me your knee wasn't going, that has nothing to do with me. Whatever your number is, 110, 120, 127, it's all yours. You do with it how you please. Let us know when you come back." That was our conversation. If you want somebody fired, we can fire them too. It's your money to do it. And that's when I said, all right, I called Antoine, how much you need? Boom, boom, boom. So instead of taking 127, I took 111. You know what I mean?
You made all those decisions based on trying to win a championship for the owner.
But he did right by me to give me a chance to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
So
what I mean?
for Daryl's the middleman.
Yeah.
The relationship between Daryl and James gonna salt because you not giving me from the owner perspective. You not giving me what I gave you the money for.
But y'all know the middleman always gets shot first.
don't you take a pay cut to get other good players though?
No, we do.
Yeah, I know.
We
So
don't-
why?
In theory, we don't supposed to.
I know, but the players they got, could they have messed up too? And then Donald James? Yeah.
They got Paul George. They got Paul George out of the situation.
They paid Paul George with James Harden money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
Nah,
That's the business.
and that's where it goes. But
It is a dirty game.
It's one of those things. Is if you're the middleman, don't make promises you can't. You know what I mean? Don't make promises you can't deliver. Right? He delivered, and you're not delivering back to him, and you have the excuse, and he don't want to hear that excuse.
No.
But hey, also making the statement that there's no loyalty when there was.
But it isn't though. Like
There wasn't.
There was until there wasn't. So it does exist. You can't say it don't exist because you didn't get your way. Because they did give you everything you needed.
No, I think he's speaking more in general. Like, why did you want out the Clippers? Well, because whatever our conversations was, it feels like I was gonna get screwed, so I left.
we all been on teams where we seen shit. We seen coaches talk shit to other players about that player, and then talk to like I was on Philly when they was talking about they were trying to decide between Lou Will and Iguodala. Who was gonna be the man, and they didn't want Doug Collins didn't want Lou Will to be in the All-Star game because he didn't want him to represent the team, so they picked Iguodala to be in the All-Star team that year. He made people pick Iguodala.
Damn.
Damn, that's crazy.
You
Like
remember?
that.
Y'all remember I
Yeah.
said this a couple years ago? I said, hey, I want to see the coaches' votes, who they voted for.
Yeah.
Those are the only votes we don't see, right? Where they get their sheet and they vote so we can see who they voting for, right? But remember, I told you there's always collusion because I'm Doug Collins. I got friends. in other places.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Lou Will was
Yes.
he was the
I know
lead
y'all
scorer
wanna
of
vote
that
for
Philly
Will,
team.
but don't vote for Eagle. We want him to represent. Like
Yep.
that happens. Remember,
Wow.
like I always said it. I said, listen, hey, I got Jaren Jackson Jr. right here. If he makes this team, he's worth 360.
Yeah.
I don't want him to make this team. So hey, I have $1 million that I can spend on you reporters to go the other way.
No
Hey,
look.
that's the same thing. Hey, that's full circle. That's
Yep.
full circle what I said about Cam Thomas, my nigga. That's the same thing I was saying about Cam. How the coaches can do that shit to you. They can fuck you over. And if Cam is a new version of Lou Will, like Doc said, that same shit can happen to him and anybody else. Jonathan Kuminga, Khalil Ware, Cam Whitmore. All of these guys can fall into a bracket where the coach don't fuck with them and the owner like, man, you know what? Send a memo out. We not fucking with them. Do not fuck with him.
Hey, who breathing on the mic? Who got their
That's what I'm
dog?
saying.
That's
Right?
Josiah. That's Josiah. That's Josiah.
Shout out, I ain't breathed in 30 seconds. Huh? I've been listening here intently.
Hey, mute Josiah, Mike. That shit
Like,
stop,
Nick,
man. You
hey,
better
Nick,
stop.
get your goddamn ass away from that microphone. Nick Jr.
Oh.
Nick Jr.
He went to school today. And we going to the game tonight. And we going to the game tonight, man.
Oh, you going? Okay, we'll see. I see
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
USC, Illinois, I imagine.
All right, wrap this up.
Gil, damn. You stop talking. I'll tell you if you let
we
me
gotta come
talk.
back tomorrow. Same time. Come on,
Shut
man.
my shit off now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all pulling up to the virtual arena. We are working on a new location as we speak, but shout out to y'all. Thank you for bearing through our Zoom meeting.